E3.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Not Super Bash Bros. E3 coverage for 2019. Hans, Ubisoft is here.
Fuck off, Nick.
I'm not going to do this if you're going to have a fucking attitude this whole time. Hans,
I'm fine.
Ubisoft.
Yes. Let's talk about that, Nick.
You're so loud I can hear you. Close your door.
The door is closed. That's how much I'm shouting.
God damn it, Hans. Yes, Ubisoft, those crazy French bastards.
Yes, crazy. I agree with that.
Hans would kick things off with a live-action Assassin's Creed musical performance.
That was cool.
It was cool, yes. I liked it. I don't appreciate them skipping over Syndicate.
I had the exact same note, actually.
Unity,
yeah.
I understand, but come on, Syndicate was good.
Thing is, though, like, Unity and stuff still was there. Like, they didn't, obviously not in that, like, overture bit, but, like, they showed a lot more of Unity than they did with fucking Syndicate.
I know. That was... They done my game dirty, Hans.
Disrespectful.
Yes, and then we get our first game of the evening.
The only game of the evening. I'm sorry.
Watch Dogs Legion. I think this looks really cool. Essentially the premise is there is no singular main character. You recruit people into DedSec, and if your character dies or whatever happens to them, you then take on the role of another person you've recruited into DedSec.
That is a really like that. If they're saying that kind of any NPC can be recruited and they are fully voiced, that is mental. Because obviously, if they're going to be in the cutscenes and stuff, you're really going to notice if the same voice actor stuff's being used.
Yeah, I think that
people.
is kind of my biggest fear is having any character. Like, if you obviously, chances are you'll probably only have one of your recruited characters in any cutscene.
Yeah,
but it's going to become very noticeable if you switch from one character that has the exact same voice and stuff like that.
Maybe in my mind, maybe what they would do is they're obviously going to limit to how many people you can recruit. Like to begin with, and then you kind of unlock more slots and stuff.
They precisely said you can play as anyone. Can I recruit the Queen into DedSec?
If she's there, yeah, why not?
Good. I think this is really cool. I think this would have been a much better reveal if all this hadn't leaked.
Well, I hadn't. All I had seen from the leak was the name and the setting.
No, it came out that like the whole idea of like, yeah, you play as an NPC, you don't play as like a single character. This all kind of came out about a week ago maybe. And I think, yes, I still think this looks really cool, and the execution of it was really well done. I think this probably would have had similar to a lot of Ubisoft things. Like, this happened last year with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where I feel like if it hadn't come out and got leaked beforehand, it would have been a lot cooler. But I'm still excited for it, and it's coming out March 6th, 2020. Rob McElhenney comes out, Hans.
That is a handsome man.
Very handsome man. He is making a video game developer-based comedy, which I'm assuming with the help of Ubisoft, they're probably making a lot of the video game assets and probably advising, I imagine.
Probably rented out the office space.
It's called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. Actually, that'll look pretty good. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, like it's being produced by one or two of the producers. I don't think all of them from Always Sunny. Yeah. So if it's kind of just Always Sunny, but set in a game development office, that would be pretty fucking hilarious, yeah.
Mm-hmm. T-Pain is announced to be playing Rainbow Six Siege after the show, Hans. T-Pain.
Nick, just keep moving on before I get angry again.
We get the announcement that Adventure Time characters are coming to Brawlhalla.
That was that's quite a cool partnership.
I agree.
I don't know if it'll help shift many copies, but for people who are already playing it, that's pretty cool.
We get a cinematic trailer for Ghost Recon Breakpoint before fucking the Punisher comes out with his dog hands.
That was so cool.
It was so random. Why'd he bring his dog? That
was so dope. The dog just lay down.
It was a very well-behaved dog, yeah.
Then again, so would I. If my master was the Punisher, I would not fuck with him.
Nothing kind of majorly new shown here. I think this game still kind of looks a bit generic for my taste, and I think the last few Ghost Recon games have all been kind of disappointing, and this hasn't shown me anything.
I feel like that's kind of just been anything Tom Clancy-wise. It's kind of been very generic.
I don't know, like even compared it, like, while The Division 2 is not spectacular by any means in its visual style, I think it has a look. and it is like this kind of
Orange.
It is orange, but it is still at least bright in places, and like it does a good job of like having these bright city streets and all.
The problem with Tom Clancy is that obviously the whole thing is he is a former special thing, so it's more about detail to realism, and unfortunately reality is quite boring sometimes.
Yeah.
So to me, I think that's kind of just part and parcel for Tom Clancy.
It seems they're launching something called Delta Company, which seems to be some form of community hub. I didn't really get what the point in it was.
That's how I felt about this entire conference.
There's a beta launching for Breakpoint on September 5th, with the full release in October. And did they tease more Terminator stuff? Was that the Terminator?
Yeah, it's the Terminator.
Is it just that easy to get? Could we get the Terminator license?
Could we just have Arnie being like, "Oh, welcome back to Bash, bro"?
Yeah, it seems like it's not that hard to get these days. I wonder how pissed they were when the Gears Terminator thing happened. Like, damn it, we had that. We're getting a Tom Clancy's mobile game called Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, which seems to be bringing together multiple operatives from all the different Clancy games, including Sam Fisher,
Nick,
Hans.
new Splinter Cell
It's
game.
not a new Splinter Cell game. Don't talk to me like that. Hans. Just Dance 10.
We were so close.
Oh, it's so good. That
No.
panda.
No, it's not. We were nearly like, I was just like, it opened up and it was like, oh man, there's no Just Dance, and we got like halfway through apparently, and I was like, man, we did it. No Just, oh fuck, there it is. Every year, 10 years of this shit, Nick.
I do not like the Just Dance games. I appreciate the absurdity that they bring to every press conference. That's coming out in November, Panda not included. We get a trailer for a new game mode in For Honor.
Limited
Limited game mode. Has a new unit, some female samurai with a giant axe. We get a trailer for a new Rainbow Six game, Quarantine Hands.
Kind of looks like Rainbow Six Left 4 Dead.
So yeah, I kind of have like, it's a 3-player tactical cooperative shooter. Yeah, I kind of have it. Sounds like a more tactically driven Left 4 Dead, which seems good. Like, it seems cool. I think Rainbow Six Siege they've put a lot of work into, and its core fundamental shooting was never the problem. And I think taking that shooting and putting it into a new game could be good. Like, I think it's not a bad idea. That's coming 2020. We get info dump about The Division 2 and its content updates for the rest of the year. It's getting a free weekend this weekend. The first of these major content updates is the DC Outskirts, which is coming out in July and is 3 major story missions, each taking place in like a kind of completely new zone outside of the main DC city. Also announced that Netflix is helping make the Division movie.
Yes, like, to be fair, a Division movie's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, I fear it'll just be your kind of standard military movie.
True, but Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, and he's a very, very talented actor, so...
Very handsome man. We get the announcement of Uplay Plus, the Ubisoft-focused subscription service.
Because everybody needs a subscription service nowadays.
This will, for $15 a month, you will get the premium edition of all new Ubisoft games and all their massive back catalogue of Ubisoft games.
So let's talk about the subscription services next. So
Let's talk
Ubisoft, right, has one.
What?
Ubisoft
has one, yes.
Right. Origin has one.
Yep. Microsoft.
Microsoft has one.
Yeah. Microsoft technically has 2, but yeah.
What, am I missing anything?
No, not really.
So collectively, what? Say at most you're talking £15 a month.
I suppose you could probably lump stuff like PlayStation Now into that as well.
So roughly, say £15 a month will go for 5 subscription services. So technically, it's for £75 a month. I'm going to edit that so that I got that right. For £75 a month, I will never have to pay for another game ever again.
In theory, but no, probably not. Like,
see, and there's the problem I have with subscription services.
My problem with it is, it's one, I don't think Origins and Ubisoft's are not great deals.
Because you're only getting
their games, yes. And I think Ubisoft's is less of a great deal than EA's, because at least with EA's, a lot of their games have long shelf lives. They are primarily online driven games. Stuff like, obviously, the sports games and Anthem and stuff like that. And obviously they're shooters. So the issue I feel like for Ubisoft is the super ridiculous editions of all their games will not be that long-lasting. Especially as a lot of games now are shifting towards free content updates for a year or so. They're not doing these discrete DLC packs. And I think for $15 a month or whatever it ends up being here, it's a bit of a hard sell for Ubisoft. And I think it's probably the hardest sell out of all of them. I think Game Pass is still fucking fantastic value, considering Game Pass on PC is £4 a month. And I think the console version is like £7 or £6 a month. Like, I think Game Pass is phenomenal fucking value. And I think as you kind of get the Origin, it's still alright, it's not amazing. Origin's issue is just EA games aren't really that good nowadays. And I think Ubisoft is just paying £15 a month is not that great a deal when a lot of their games don't have the long shelf life that you would want, and the long shelf life you're getting from them doesn't need the subscription fee. It's free content updates out anyway.
I just don't think subscription fees are going to be the next big thing. I think they will slowly but surely probably start to fade out. I think they'll be around for a while. I think they'll stick around for a while. Maybe longer than some other fads have kind of come and gone, but
I don't think they'll fade out by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think they will replace buying games.
Never.
Like, I don't think Game Pass is, as we discussed, like, Game Pass is Microsoft's way to do backwards compatibility, essentially.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's ever going away, and I think it's probably smart because it's the best one out of all of them. But I don't see, like, especially, like, look at Origin and the whole, like, they're charging £70 a year for their, like, premium super sexy tier. And it's, like, what do they have coming out this year that's not a sports game? They also announced that is coming, or the Uplay subscription service will work with Stadia in 2020, which I thought was weird considering Stadia already has a fee. We get a trailer for Roller Champions Hands, which seems to be a roller derby-based sports game.
Yeah, it could be, like, if it's decent enough, it could be like the next Rocket League, possibly.
Yeah, a lot of people, this also was one of the things that leaked before this press conference, and that's what a lot of people were saying, was it's Ubisoft, whether it is going to be successful, it's Ubisoft's attempt at that kind of Rocket League formula of this abstracted out game. There's a pre-alpha E3 demo available to download on Uplay, and it's available until, I think, at the end of the week. It's kind of 3v3 race around the rink with the ball until you have to complete a certain number of laps to unlock the goal, and then you can score. Yves comes out and has some inspirational words before announcing a new project, Hans. Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, don't really know what the fuck it's going to be.
I think the art style was really nice. Like, I think
it was just more Pixar.
I think it was really nice, and it seems like it's a game based on, like, Greek and Roman mythology. It's coming out in February 2020. And that was it, Hans. Cut to TP and playing Rainbow Six.
That was fucking it, Nick.
Yes.
That was all there fucking was.
This was a very...
Who the fuck thought this was a good conference?
This was a very purr conference. I think made purr by the fact people knew Watch Dogs was coming.
But even, like, if you had flipped this conference back to front, it at least would have, the pacing would have made more sense.
Like, I have a note saying I probably would have swapped Watch Dogs and Gods and Monsters.
But, like, just flip the entire thing back to front, and it actually makes a lot more sense, like, formatting wise.
Yeah.
Who I just, like, where the fuck was, like, even teasing a new Assassin's Creed? Where the fuck was Beyond Good and Evil? I don't know. I'm just pissed off, dude. This is a stupid fucking conference. This did not require a conference. None of this, like, Watch Dogs, like, the only one I personally think is worth talking about here is Watch Dogs. Everything else was just trailers or stuff that was coming out in DLC or download. Some brief gameplay about Roller Champions, which is just kind of a sports game. This was a nothing conference. Literally a nothing conference. It was a one-legged pony, and the one leg was Watch Dogs.
I'm not as down on it as you are. Yes, I think it was a bit of a weak conference, like, and I think that wasn't helped by a lot of it leaking beforehand. Like, anything new they announced had already leaked. Like, even small stuff like the Adventure Time Brawlhalla stuff had leaked.
But you're saying that, but I didn't see those leaks, and I still thought it was a really desperate conference.
I would not go as far as saying, like, still think Bethesda's was far fucking worse. Like, I am far more excited about a lot of these games in Ubisoft's compared to what I am of any of the games in Bethesda's, and a lot of these seem a lot more tangible than what was announced at Bethesda. But yes, that is it for Ubisoft's conference. Join us tomorrow for Square Enix and Nintendo.
Yep.
Yes, Square Enix is overnight and Nintendo is at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Square's at 2, Nintendo's at 5.
Yep. So join us tomorrow when we go through those last two conferences and do a wrap-up video covering a bunch of different miscellaneous things that have happened over E3 and previous days running up to E3. But for now, is a goodbye from Hans.
See you tomorrow.
A goodbye from myself. E3 on.